Equally Safe Edinburgh and look forward to hearing what you have to say. You two have up to 5 minutes to make your case.
Thank you, Lord Provost and elected members, for this opportunity to speak today. I'm Leslie Johnston. I'm the Vice Chair. I'm speaking on behalf of the Equally Safe Edinburgh Committee, formerly known as Edinburgh Violence Against Women Partnership. So we're an active multi-agency partnership between Edinburgh-based Violence Against Women services with an agreed mandate to implement the Scottish Government and COSLA's Equally Safe strategy to tackle violence against women and girls, and we report directly to the Chief Officers Group for Public Protection in Edinburgh. We're here to share our support for Edinburgh Women's Aid and to urge the City of Edinburgh Council to reject motion numbers 8.5 for the following reasons. Edinburgh Women's Aid, as you've eloquently heard, have been an invaluable member and partner service provider of violence against women services for over 50 years in Edinburgh and have undoubtedly contributed to the improvement of women's safety and well-being during that period. Unfortunately, levels of recorded domestic abuse incidents continue to rise, with police statistics showing an 11% increase in the last year nationally to 63,867 reported incidents in 23-24, of which 81% represent a male perpetrator and a female victim. We also know that that's likely to be a gross underestimate. The majority of people will not report incidents. Edinburgh Women's Aid continue to provide an excellent range of trauma-informed services, as we've just heard, including homelessness provision, child and vulnerable adult protection, and they contribute towards Edinburgh becoming a feminist city and the very successful Respect Her Space campaign around women's safety in public places. And yet, ironically, women are actually less safe in private places within their own homes. We're very saddened to see that the range of services that Edinburgh Women's Aid provide to all women are not detailed in the motion. And single-sex services for men and Edinburgh homelessness services are not being scrutinised to the same extent. More importantly, such motions around the removal of single-sex provision service for violence against women will have the unintended and direct consequences of alarming vulnerable women in need of such support, potentially leading to female survivors accessing or avoiding accessing help when they and their children most need it. Empirical evidence and evidence-based shows us that leaving an abusive relationship is statistically the most dangerous time for women and children. Every week, 2 women are killed every week in the UK by partners and former ex-partners. The same research will also show us that women who leave in a planned and coordinated manner with specialist support and adequate safe refuge provision, such as offered by Women's Aid, actually help save the lives of women and children. The courage, fear and strength to seek help should never be underestimated. A large part of funding for Edinburgh Women's Aid comes from the Council. Council colleagues are responsible for monitoring domestic abuse contracts. They're also members of the same Equally Safe Committee. They have a clear rationale for the contract for refuge provision being delivered on a single-sex basis to support and maintain the dignity, privacy and safety of women who have been affected by trauma over many years. Female survivors have fed back repeatedly that single-sex services are essential in Edinburgh and that many of them would self-exclude from services that were not single-sex, leaving them at higher risk of abuse and ultimately serious harm or worse. The Equalities Act 2010, and I quote, allows services that are single-sex to only accept people of that sex and to refuse access to people of the opposite sex, no matter how they identify, as long as the treatment is objectively justified. Therefore, contracts which invoke single-sex exemptions are acting within the law. The Equally Safe Partnership would like to also highlight that Edinburgh is very committed to being an LGBT inclusive city, but is also committed to being a trauma-informed city. This means being trauma-informed for people with all protected characteristics and the choices to actually access a single-sex or trans-inclusion service. Please consider the serious health and safety implications for the increasingly high numbers of women and children affected by coercive, pervasive forms of and controlling and abusive behaviours and not further reducing women's choices to live a life free from emotional, physical and sexual abuse. We urge you not to support this motion. Thank you.